Hello students. So this is the ninth video on first module. So in the last module I was explaining you about the different types of instructions. So we have seen two different instructions, that is three address instruction and two address instruction. Now I am going to explain you the other two types of instructions. So one address instruction, it consists of source and destination both will be stored in one location itself. So whatever is previously stored in A, that will be added with one buffer register. There will be a buffer register, so it will be consisting of the element which is to be added. So that element will be added to the location A at the element, and both will be like added, and the sum will be again stored at the memory location A. So that is about the one address instruction. And zero address instruction, the locations of all operands are defined implicitly. So implicitly they will be defined, and just we are going to give the operands are stored in a structure called as push down stack. That is, here we will come across one more data structure called as stack, which will be storing all the data within it, and it will be performing the given operation. That is, whatever instruction we are going to give, like add means it will go add the data which is stored in the push down stack, and it will be retaining the result also in the same stack. So this is about different types of instructions. Next we will see how the instruction execution takes place. We all are familiar with branching instructions, and branching and looping, so all this. So similarly here also we are going to read, or we are going to learn more about the types of instructions, how they are being executed, whether some branching is done, or how the branching will be done. So everything we are going to study in this topic. So first, the program is executed as follows. Initially, the address of the first instruction is loaded into PC. So already we know that a PC, it will be consisting of the first instruction which is to be executed. PC is nothing but the program counter. So then the processor control circuit uses the information in the PC to fetch and execute the instruction. So whatever address will be present in PC, that will be used by the processor control unit or processor control circuit in order to read or fetch the instructions and execute the instructions one at a time in the order of increasing addresses. So this is called as straight line sequencing. So if our program, it consists of five instructions, then PC first it will be pointing to the first instruction. So once the first instruction, if it is it requires some read operation from the memory, then that read operation will be performed with the help of the read signal and write signals which are being generated by the control unit. So once first instruction will be in the execution, middle of execution, then the program counter, it will be move to the next instruction. It will be pointed to the next instruction, that is the second instruction. So similarly, after 1 2 will be executed, then 3, then 4, then 5. So this type of execution of the instructions in sequence is called as straight line sequencing. So once the execution has been completed, during the execution of each instruction, the PC is incremented by 4 to point to the next instruction. That is, we are going to use here pointer which stores the current address. That is, each instruction, it will be of 4 bytes. Okay, so if we want to move to the next instruction, then our PC has to be incremented by 4 points at a time if we want to point to the next instruction. Executing given instruction is a two-phase procedure. So how the given instruction will be executed, we will see here. There are two phases. One is fetch phase, the other one is the execute phase. So in fetch phase, what happens is the instruction is fetched from the memory location whose address is in the PC and placed in the IR of the processor. So we know that there are different types of registers which are used in the processor. They are like PC, IR, and general purpose registers, MAR and MDR. So all these five together work in order to perform the given instruction, in order to fetch the instruction and also to execute the instruction. So in fetch phase, what happens is the instruction is fetched from the memory location. It is already saved in the memory, and that has to be fetched from the memory location, and it has to be placed in the IR, that is instruction register of the processor. So this is about fetch phase. In execute phase, what happens is the contents of IR is examined to determine which operation is to be performed. So if that IR it wants some ALU operation to be performed, then it will be given to the ALU unit, and there the required operation will be performed and the result will be stored in MDR. If it doesn't require, if it requires any load or store operations, then that also will be performed and the resultant will be stored in MDR. So the specified operation is then performed by the processor. So here you can see. So the contents, what it contains is move A comma R naught, add B comma R naught, and move R naught comma C. So here what will be done? Move A comma R naught. So whatever will be at location A, it will be moved to the register R naught. Then add B comma R naught. So the contents of B will be added to the register R naught. Contents of the register R naught. So and the result will be stored in R naught. As we all know, in our different types of instructions, it is two address type, that is source and destination. So in destination, the result will be stored. After adding the contents of B and R naught, the result will be stored in R naught. So after that, third instruction which is to be executed is move R naught comma C. So whatever is stored in this register R naught, it has to be moved to the location C. Okay. So these are the three different instructions, and this is a 3 instruction program segment. So here how the PC will be incremented. First it will be placed at the first instruction, that is I. Then after the execution of each and every instruction, PC should be incremented with 4. So we are writing here I plus 4, I plus 8, because the instruction is of 4 bytes. Okay, so here in this location we have the memory location of A, memory location of B, and memory location of C. Some address will be here, and we are going to allocate that already the location. At this location, the data which is required for executing these type of instructions will be stored. It will be fetched from there and it will be executed. At last the result will be stored in C. So this is about the sequential execution of the program. So next, that was like a straight line sequencing. Here we have straight line sequencing of the program instructions. Next is branching type. Branching means actually the loop is a straight line sequence of instructions executed as many times as needed. It starts at location loop and ends at the instruction branch greater than 0. So here for branching, what we need is we have to like if we want to perform certain set of instructions, then we have to move to that particular set of instructions, and there we have to perform those set of instructions and come back to the original program or original instruction set. So here the loop is a straight line sequence of instructions executed as many times as needed. It starts at location loop and ends at the instruction branch greater than 0. During each pass through this loop, the address of the next list entry is determined and that entry is fetched and added to R0. So here whatever during each pass through this loop, the address of the next list entry, whatever next list of instructions has to be executed, that will be fetched and it will be added to R0. Register R1 is used as a counter to determine the number of times the loop is executed. So here until and unless the condition becomes false, the loop has to be executed n number of times. So how many times it has been executed, so that data will be stored in one register R1 at the beginning of the program. With the body of the loop, the instruction decrement R1 reduces the contents of R1 by 1 each time through the loop. So there, like in C language, we used to give I value until and unless some condition is satisfied, it will be executing the set of instructions within the loop. Similarly, here also same thing happens. So the branch instruction loads a new value into the program counter. As a result, the processor fetches and executes the instruction at this new address called the branch target. So this is how it happens in the branch instructions. So this can also be explained with an example. So we have here two types of executions. So we will see in the next video how in this example, according to this example, how we are going to execute the set of instructions.